Hey all, welcome to today's video. As you can see, I'm currently pixel me because I don't own a webcam and my phone is acting up, which is super fun. So I'm gonna try and make this work. This video was inspired after I died for probably my 525th time in my Minecraft world. I decided to take a look and see at how dangerous each Minecraft mob would be if they were real. Now for this tier list, I'm going to be going off the idea that there's just one of these mobs in the real world at a time. So just how deadly they'd be all alone, not in an army. And that's going to change a few things because an army of creepers is terrifying. It would definitely go in the overturned society tier because it's just a bunch of walking proximity mines. However, just one creeper, I'm gonna put it in the meh tier. Sure, it would cause some damage, but after it explodes, that's it. Nothing else it's gonna do. So the meh tier seems like a right place to put it. All right, next up, we got a bat. So I have a tier for all of these real life things that we already have. Grainy axolotl goes in there as well, and a bee, of course. All right. Blaze. Look at that smile, man. Look how cheery he is to be here today. Let's see. They can fly, they can shoot fire. So I definitely think it's more than a meh. It depends on where it's released. If it's released in like a concrete jungle kind of environment, like a New York City, and it's just shooting fire at concrete and steel, that's not very terrifying. If it's released in a forest and it flies and just shoots fire, that would be freaky. So I'll put him in the spooky tier for now, but he's probably gonna be on the lower end. Cats we already have. We already have spiders, but I'm not gonna put him here because he's giant. So I feel like that's something deserving more than just the bottom tier. I'm gonna put him in the meh, above a creeper. Well, actually, yeah, above a creeper. He's got poison, he's bigger than your average spider. That would be terrifying. Chicken. Now a zombie on a chicken. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. Can zombies on chickens still transform other people into zombies? Because if so, that's spooky tier, because then they duplicate and they're more mobile. Yeah, I'm definitely saying he's spooky. Codfish, not that scary. Cow, right there. Dolphin? Is this a dolphin? Is there just a very short-nosed elephant in the game and I had no idea? I think that's dolphin. If so, I'm putting him up here. Also with the donkey. Drowned. Okay, here's the thing. It's basically a water zombie. So spooky, but there's less people in the water for them to infect. But some of them do have a trident. Man, this is difficult. For right now, I'm gonna say he's meh. I don't think he's gonna affect us too much. For all we know, we've explored like what? 2% of the world's oceans or something like that. There might be a drowned and we just don't even know. So I'm putting him in meh. Okay, these guys. The Elder Guardian and his fishy friend. I'm kind of tempted to put in meh. Just because they also just live in the water kind of far away from people and they can't really come out. So definitely not going to overturn society. The only thing that I can think of that makes these guys a threat is the fact that they could like disrupt supply chains and attack boats. But I don't think that's enough for the spooky tier. Spooky tier, I think that's still just a meh. Ender Dragon, overturn society. Just that's an easy one. I don't even feel like I need to explain it. Endermen. See, right off the bat, you might be thinking spooky because they hit really hard and they can teleport and they can like destroy buildings essentially if they just take a piece out. But here's the thing, they die to rain and they're not automatically aggroed to you. They're only aggroed if you look them in the eyes, which I'm betting not everybody would do because they're terrifying. You'd probably just run away and you'd be fine if you did. So I'm putting him at the meh. I'm gonna put him at the top because if you do look at him, he's gonna be pretty dangerous, but otherwise, I think you're kind of in the clear and he's gonna die to rain eventually. What the crap is this? What is this? What mob is that? Why? I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Alright, I feel kind of bad about this. I don't know what this is. So I'm just gonna put him in the unsure category. All right, moving on from that, we have the Illagers next. All right, these two, here's the thing. It's either an Illager Pillager or it's an Invoker. If it's just a Pillager, I'm gonna say as spooky as the teacups, because it's just a dude with a crossbow. I mean, that deserves at least to be in the meh tier, I guess. Yeah, I'll put him in the meh, because he does have a crossbow. So, you know, if you saw that, that'd be a little intimidating. But, yeah, I just don't think he's gonna do too much. The evokers, though, straight up spooky territory, because they can call forth these little vexes, and that's terrifying. And in fact, while we're on it, vexes are gonna be... They're like little ghosts that just attack you nonstop. But if there's just one, there's just one. Bottom of spook, very bottom of spook, but the evoker, top of spook. All right, next, I think this is the Vindicator, right? The guy with the blue eyes. These guys, these are pillagers with axes. So I think they go below on the meh, because like a crossbow, at least you have some range. You could run away from a guy with an axe, maybe. The illusioners or illusionists, whatever you call them. These guys, they make you blind and then they shoot you. So I'm gonna say above a creeper. Because if you suddenly became blind, that would be pretty terrifying in and of itself. And then they also shoot you, so how do you fight back? But there's also only one of them. So Ravager would probably go, let's see. It's just like a giant ox, basically. So I'm gonna say meh. Yeah, he's meh. I think he's below creepers. Because here's the thing, he would be scary, but it's just like if something escaped from the zoo. Now somebody on a Ravager who's shooting at you, it goes up higher. Because he's more mobile now, and he has more attacks. We already have foxes. Gas are spooks. Yeah, I would say they're at least tied with blazes, if not slightly higher. Because they don't just shoot fire, they shoot basically bombs. Not quite enough to overturn society so far, only the dragon's up there, man. Alright, next, glow squid. So we don't have glow squid, but it's basically just a squid, so he's gonna be the first honorary member of the as spooky as teacups tier. Holy crap. I swear I've played this game before. What is that thing? Okay, well, these two so far, I have no idea what they are. And I have no idea how to look them up. So, if anybody's watching this, please let me know down in the comments what these two are, so I can quit being a fake Minecraft fan. But this one looks spookier than that one. It's just a box. Next up, hoglins. I mean, I'm tempted to just put them with the Ravagers, because it's basically what they are. Horses. Desert zombie. Okay, he's definitely spooky, because zombies, of all of these mobs, zombies, I think, are the only ones that would be able to duplicate themselves, which makes them more of a threat just automatically. Yeah, I think they overturn society, because in every movie I've ever seen with zombies, they automatically overturn society. So I think I was wrong, I'm moving him up. Iron Golem. Alright, this guy I'm gonna put on the bottom of overturn society, and here is why. They're passive, even helpful, as long as you don't, instigate anything. But I think if we found an iron golem, society would go nuts, and we'd automatically try to recreate them and make more. Just look at Castle in the Sky. I think if we found these guys, if even one existed, society would not be the same. Next up, rabbits. Not threatening. Well, wait. Oh, this is the red-eyed rabbit. This is the deadly rabbit. I feel like he's spookier than teacups, but not by much. Llamas, we have llamas. Fire slimes. They're slow, right? But they duplicate when you attack them. So there would be more, and they do set stuff on fire. I might regret this, but I think they're just spooky as teacups. Mushroom. Now, we don't have these guys either, so I can't put him in this tier. Yeah, he just gives you mushrooms. What's scary about that? I guess this is just another horse. Cats, dude. Next, pandas, parrots. All right, phantoms. Now these guys, it's gonna depend on a few factors where I put them. First, they only can exist at night and only when people don't sleep, which happens a lot. Trust me, I'm one of them. But they burn up during the day. So if that happens and it's just flying around at night, it's got at best like 12 hours to do something, and then it's just dead. More spooky than teacups, but not very high on the meh. If we're going with that, However, if this little guy were to just follow the moon and just fly around and always be there, I think that would overturn society. But I don't think he'd be able to. So I'm gonna put him in meh right now, above the rabbit. I'll put him above the rabbit. But if we were going by the other rules, just know he'd be much higher on this list. Oink. Okay, I think this is the brute. Kind of the same thing as Illagers. They hit like a truck though. So I feel like they definitely deserve to go fairly high on this. Yeah, right there. And then the hoglins, I'm gonna just put down here. Not too spooky. Polar bears, pufferfish, bunnies, salmon, sheep. Okay, the shulker box things. If they hit you and you just start floating off, that would suck. And that would be terrifying. But that's like all they do. Like they themselves don't really damage you, so I don't feel safe putting them in the spooky tier. But they're definitely not as spooky as teacups. They're slightly spookier. Spookier than a rabbit, but not by much. Silverfish, you know, if there was just one, as spooky as teacups. If there was a lot, that would really disrupt construction. That might even go to overturn society. But just by itself, spooky as teacups. Slightly higher. Skellies, I mean, because here's the thing, right? They burn up during the day, but they do have a bow and arrow, so I feel like it at least goes right here. But lower, because these guys, they just have a crossbow, kind of the same thing, but these guys don't die during the day. These guys do. So I'm gonna put them down here with the Phantom. Slightly lower than the Phantom. Skeleton horse. Now, it's not deadly, so while it may look creepy, I'm just gonna say it's as spooky as the teacups. But a skeleton on a skeleton horse, it goes up here. Still has the same weaknesses, but now it's much more mobile. Slimes, do I even need to say anything about these guys? Pumpkins? Pumpkins? Pumpkins, what is this mob? What is this mob? Hold on. This doesn't exist in Minecraft, it's just fiction. What am I looking at here? Apparently, I don't know Minecraft as well as I thought I did. And this guy too, what is this? Looks like a freaking Lego head with its eyeball coming out. That's terrifying. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely top tier here. Okay, moving on. I think that's all the mobs I don't recognize. Is this a zombie horse? I didn't know zombies could attack horses. Spiders. Spiders, they're right up here. Slightly lower than cave spiders, because they can't quite poison you. Skeleton on a spider, I feel like it's the same thing as a skeleton on a horse. Squids, what is this guy? What? It's so hard to recognize these mobs based off of just their faces, apparently. I don't even think these are faces. Let's just, okay. Striders. Striders, spooky as teacups. If you saw one, it'd be a little weird, but they're not hostile, and they can only exist in lava, so I don't think they'd live too long here. Yeah, lower than slimes. Sea turtles, villagers, we have these guys. They're just us, so boop. Traders, the Warden. So I don't know too much about the Warden. I've been trying to stay away from spoilers and all the snapshots that might have him, but just from what I've heard of how dangerous he is, for now, I'm just gonna put him right here. A witch, 100% would overturn society. Lower than the Warden, but I still think that they would overturn society. The Wither, 100% overturn society. Just drops bombs everywhere it goes and is creepy. So I think it's at least on par with the Ender Dragon. I don't know about the Warden, like I said, but I'll just put him there for now. Wither skeleton is just a skeleton, but with a sword instead of a bow and arrow. And yeah, he has the wither effect, which would just constantly drain your life. So I do think it goes higher, even though he doesn't have the range. Next, dogs or wolves, I guess. All right, next, zombie Pigman? No, zombie, I think it's a zombie, this guy, whose name I suddenly forget. Which I think he'd be deadlier because he'd have disease and poison, but not by much, so I'm just gonna put him right there. Zombies, top tier, of course. They do die in the sunlight. It has the same issue as the Phantom and the skeletons, and I didn't put them very high, but the possibility that they would be somewhere at night and turn enough people within that maximum 12 hours into other zombies, and one of them would survive the next day, I think is pretty high, so I'm keeping them where they are. Zombie horses, I didn't realize were in the game. Maybe it's just because I played the Java version of it, Maybe these are in bedrock. That might be why I don't recognize these guys. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my excuse. But yeah, otherwise they're just horses. And I imagine they're kind of just like skeleton horses. So there we go. Zombie villagers. Yes, 100% go up there with zombies. And they'd be, okay, actually, you know what? Higher tier. Because this is a zombie, but just somebody you might know. That automatically raises the bar for me. Last but not least, zombie pigmen. Probably just gonna put them in the meh, because these guys are scary in groups, right? You attack one, they all go for you. If it's just one, I don't think it's not even scarier than a wither skeleton. So I'm gonna put them right there. All right, it's my tier list of all, mostly, the Minecraft mobs and how deadly they'd be if there was just one of them. What do you think? Did I do well? Did I do poorly? Let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.